Wow. Wow. This is a Art Deco silver plate set that I purchased in San Francisco. An elderly neighbor of ours decided to move into a retirement home, so she called my husband and I and said she was selling her wares. My husband went, and it was in a cardboard box wrapped in cellophane with rubber bands on it that were so rotted they were falling off, and it was pitch black. So he asked her how much she wanted for that, and she said $25.
This is an Art Deco tea and coffee service. We have a coffee pot, teapot, covered double-handled sugar bowl, and a cream pitcher on a matching tray. This is silver-plated nickel, and overall it's got that bright, shiny silver finish we expect, but the handles are this blackened, darker finish to the metal. This is an iconic example of Jazz Age design, influenced by the architecture, music, and culture of the time. This was designed and debuted around 1925 to 1928. This is called the Skyscraper Tea and Coffee Service. The mark reads Skyscraper, patent pending, Apollo EPNS, which that's our American indication of silver plate.
Okay.
And then made in the USA by Bernard Rice's Sons, Inc. And it was wildly popular at the time and remains so through to today. So much so that single pieces of Skyscraper tableware are in museum collections and exhibited as standalone examples of important early 20th century design. Very few have ever appeared on the market as complete as this. One thing to note is that it does have a K monogram. Can you tell us the background behind that?
Yes, the owner lived in New York. He worked for Bechtel Corporation, an engineering firm, and he was transferred to San Francisco from New York. He was going to be helping with the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge, and he was given this gift as a parting gift from either his co-workers or the company, and so the designer put their initial on it.
If this were to go to auction, I believe they would put a conservative auction estimate of $15,000 to $25,000 on it.
Wow. Wow. It's amazing. Thank you. Wow. I can't wait to tell everybody. So, makes me a bit... Anyway, joked up.
Conservative insurance value would be $40,000.
What? Wow, that's fabulous. My husband bought them in the early 60s because we liked them. We paid £50 for them, which we thought was rather a lot in those days.
£50?
Yes.
Right, yes. First of all, the condition is absolutely stunning. I mean, everything is as crisp as the day it was made. The glass, it's just so sharp. Everything is just as you would want it to be. Finding a pair of claret jugs is unusual. They turn up, but most often you simply find a claret jug.
Yeah.
We've got these wonderful fruiting vines spreading across the lid, and the vines intertwined. You see how they just cross over and over down into the base there. So often when you get something like this, it's been dulled with polishing and so on over the...
Well, I've only cleaned it 4 times since I've had them.
4 times, right. Have you used them?
Not for wine, no.
No. What have you used them for then?
Well, we mostly had them in the cupboard where we could see in the glass case.
Oh, right, just to enjoy.
Yes.
Just to enjoy. Well, they're made in London, and we've got a date here of 1838, but the maker really could not be better.
Oh.
The maker in this case is Paul Storr.
Oh, fabulous. I have heard of him.
It's certainly a name to conjure
Yes.
with. One of the greatest of the silversmiths that has ever been. And it is an early date for claret jugs. They started to get going in the Regency period. You don't see many until you get a little later into the reign of Queen Victoria. So we've got absolutely top maker. We've got a pair. Really, we should be looking at a value of somewhere around 30,000 plus.
What? Wow, that's fabulous.
So a little improvement on the 55.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, I do wish my husband was here to hear that.
Well, I brought you some pieces from my great aunt Charlotte Illner. She was a female silversmith and pewterer. She then put in a couple of bids to create a golf trophy for them, and they liked it. People started being interested in these pieces that she was making, and one of them happened to be a buyer for Bullock's Wilshire in Los Angeles. With the advent of World War II, when you couldn't get precious metals, she put it aside for a little bit and went to work in an airplane factory as an inspector. And eventually in 1947, she moved to Laguna Beach. She really kept producing almost until her death.
Is this really exceptional photograph of her standing with pieces that she had made herself, and the silver tray in the shape of a pear is like to die for. And you've got two more images here of her. She's physically working the silver here.
Yes.
And also, ironically, in her probably same uniform that she wore, she's just finishing off what looks to be a punch set here, which is so beautiful. And then perhaps just one of my favorite pages in this entire group is this page here for the drawing. Whenever you see an artist's rendering, this is her imagination, her first initial thoughts on a piece being laid down on paper is so great to see. Then we have the real thing. We've got objects here. We have two very nice small silver examples, but the pièce de résistance in this centerpiece here is this bowl, which is just amazing. You can see its fabulous hand-hammered nature all the way through, and you can also see here these floral rosettes pierced at the bottom. There's a real strength and robustness to it. It's not delicate. This is actually signed as well by the maker. It says hand-wrought, Charlotte Illner, right here on the base, and the other pieces are similarly signed as well. It's heavy.
Yes, it is.
It's got a lot of weight. Each one of these pieces would have been hand-wrought and likely commissions. The silver bowl, which lines up with the photographs, we date to the mid-1930s. The smaller examples here could possibly have been after the war, so dating to the 50s. Very few, like maybe less than 5 examples have come up for sale of her work, and they're all very small and quite modest in value, less than $500 kind of thing. But nothing of this magnitude has come up for sale. But it's important when we're looking at the value is we're looking at the entirety. If I were placing a value for insurance purposes on the entire group, my colleagues and I feel very confident that we would place a value of $10,000 on the entire set.
You're... Wow. I mean, she just was another grandparent to me. So we just treasure it. But that's mind-blowing. We just love it, and we loved her, and I'm just so blessed to have it.